Hello. Today is Tuesday, April 27th. Hopefully this video finds you in good health. This is a video for those individuals missing today or just need some extra help or want to review. So for the self-start today, students will be working on a pink paper. The pink paper worksheet is the homework from yesterday that we just didn't have time for. So if you were not able to pick up this paper today, you will find this paper on yesterday's Canvas page under the homework section. So make sure that gets done. As far as information goes, just make sure that you turn in your parents' signature slips by Friday if you want full credit. They do go on your grades. In fact, those people who have turned it in already, it is already on your grades. So you're welcome to look at it. Those people who have not turned it in, it is already on your grades as missing. So it has already impacted your overall grade. So get those down and to me by Friday, please. If you have lost this paper, then you are welcome to have your parents email me saying that they have checked your grades. And I'll accept that as well. For today, we've done the self-start. Students will be checking their grades today. So I encourage you at home to do that as well. And we're going to be discussing ratios and equivalent ratios today. This is a topic that you have learned before in 6th grade. We're just going to kind of review the basics of it to help prepare you for the upcoming RISE test. So first off, what you need to be aware of with ratios is there's a couple of ways that you can write ratios, and you need to know what ratios are. So ratios are used to make comparisons and can be done in 3 ways. So the first way is you can put the word 2 in it. You can put the word 2 in it. So you could say 2 to 1, or you could say 5 to 7, or boys to girls, so something like that. So you can use the word 2. The second way is you can use the colon right here, and that just means the same thing, 2 to 1. 2 for every 1. Or you could set it up as a fraction as well. So this means 2 per 1. Remember, per means divide. So there's a couple ways you could do it. So 2 circles to every 1 square. 2 to 1, 2 to 1, 2 per 1. So if I were to give you this and say, what is the ratio of pins still standing to the pins knocked over? Well, standing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are still standing to the ones knocked over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you say 5 up for every 5 down, or 5 to 5. You could also say 1 to 1 because that would simplify down as well. Now, if the question was how many pins are still standing compared to the total, well, the 5 are still standing. The total would be the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 to 10. Or you could say 5, use the word 2, 10. Or you could say 5 to 10. So something like that would be okay as well. So you just really got to make sure that you're paying attention to what the question is asking, because that will tell you how to set it up or what numbers to use. So we're going to practice writing ratios using the ratio of boys to girls or girls to boys in the classroom. So we're going to say that there are 16 girls and 15 boys. So you could say 16 colon 15, 16 to 15. You could do 16 and then use the word 2, 15. Or you could say 16 over 50. Any of those would be okay to use. Now, if I were to change it to the ratio of girls to students in the classroom, then it would be different. It would be the girls with the total, which would be 16 plus 15, which is 31. So again, watch the wording on it. Or how about the ratio of hats to no hats in the classroom? So let's say that there are 5 students wearing hats and 21 not wearing hats. So we could say 5 to 21. If I were to say hats to number of students in the classroom, then again, watch that because we would add those together and now it would be 5 to 26. So make sure you're reading the words. Or the ratio of long sleeves to short sleeves in the classroom. So maybe it's 14 to 20. Well, we could say 14 to 20, or we could say 14 to 20 this way. Or we could just say 14 and then over 20. That would be okay too. So again, watch the wording. So here we go. A pitcher of juice has 6 cups of pineapple juice and 5 cups of orange juice. Write the ratio of cups of pineapple juice to the total number of cups of juice. So because the cups of pineapple juice comes first in our question or in the statement, we're going to use that first. So the pineapple juice is 6. And then because it uses the word 2 here, I'm just going to use that same thing. It says the total number of cups of juice. Do not put 5. This is not correct because it wants to know the total number of cups. So remember when I said watch the wording? This is a good example of it. So the total number of cups would actually be 6 plus 5. That should be a 1, sorry. That's just really bad. How about we do it again? 6 plus 5 gives me 11. So my answer would be 6 to 11, or 6 colon 11, or you could say 6 over 11. That would be okay too. So equivalent ratios are still ratios, but are common multiples or common factors. So a lot of times you could think of it in regards to a fraction as being simplified, or maybe increasing it by 2, multiplying the top and bottom by 2. So there's a couple of different things you could do. So you could say 1/2 and 3/6 are equivalent, because if I were to multiply the top number and the bottom numbers by 3, 1 times 3 would be 3, 2 times 3 would be 6. So these are equivalent. 10 to 25 and 2 to 5 are equivalent, because if I divide the top number, or the first number, by 5, and the top or the bottom number by 5, well, 10 divided by 5 would give me 2. 25 divided by 5 would give me 5. So because I can divide the top and bottom, or the left and right, by the same number, this would give me my answer. They are equivalent. So you could also use it as colons as well. So because I can multiply the top number by 5 and this number by 5, 5 times 5 is 25, 8 times 5 is 40, these would be equivalent as well. So if we need to find a ratio equivalent to 20/40ths with lesser terms, basically what that means is simplify the fraction. So if you were to simplify 20/40ths, that would give you an answer of 1/2. But there's a lot of other ways you could do that too. If you were to divide both numbers by 10, then you would get 2 over 4. So 2 over 4 would be equivalent to 20/40ths. Or if you were to divide both numbers by 5, you could say that 4/8 is equivalent. So there's a lot of different ways you could do this one in regards to lesser terms. So we're dividing and getting smaller, basically, is what we're using. But sometimes we can also use tables to show equivalent ratios. So a lot of times people will look at this and say, well, I don't necessarily see a pattern with some of these. Well, let me show you the easy way of doing it. I bet you've probably done this before. So I'm going to use 3 numbers that are right next to each other. So I'm going to use these 3 right here. And I'm going to set it up like this. 10 over 30 on this side. And I'm going to do 15 on the bottom on this side. But I don't have anything in this box, so I'm going to say that that's an X. Well, I bet you can probably multiply those numbers there and then divide by that number. So 10 times 15 is 150. 150 divided by 30 gives me x, which is 5. Oh, look at that. I just did that. So going from 30 down to 15, I'm dividing by 2. Going from 10 to 5, I'm dividing by 2. Well, now I can use that to figure out this box. So I can say x over 12 is equal to 5 over 15. Well, let's see. 5 times 12 is 60. 60 divided by 15 gives me 4. Or I could use this side now. And I can say 10 over 30 equals 200 over x, because I don't know what this spot is. Sorry, my mouse is having a really hard time. So you could do 200 times 30, which is 6,000. 6,000 divided by 10 gives me 600. There you go. So you can use equivalent ratios to help set up and solve for the missing table. So we've got some practice for you. If you want to try it, you can just go to this link here. They'll give you some problems to do. They'll give you something like, are the ratios 1 to 2 and 8 to 18 equivalent? Well, let's see. To go from 1 to 8, I need times by 8. So that means I would have to do it to this other numbers too. 2 times 8 is not 18. So they are not equivalent. Or you could set it up this way. You could do, if I can get my pen to work. So you could do sorry, my pen apparently isn't working right now, so we're not going to worry about it. But you could set it up as 16 over 8 equals 2 over 1, and then multiply and divide and see if it comes out the same. That would absolutely work. The other thing you could do to practice, and I will be sharing it out a little bit later, is this right here, where you are trying to figure out the missing space. So it looks like this. So 5 to blank equals 1 to 2. Well, I can set that up as 5 over x equals 1 over 2, and then multiply and then divide. Or I could say, how do I go from 1 to 5? Well, I have to multiply by 5. So I would have to multiply the 2 by 5, and that would give me 10. And look what happens. Oh, all of a sudden, because I got the right answer, a couple of colors popped up over here. So keep working on that, and that would be good practice, and I will share this a little bit later. If you guys have any questions, you are welcome to contact me, message me through Canvas, email me, however it needs to be. Have a great day, and we'll hope to see you back soon.